Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Linda SAUGET is my next guest. Hi, Linda.
Hey, ANITA. Good morning.
You know, it's interesting. Dr. Mencia was here, and we were describing the way that good medical... I see, I'm getting a little bit of a thing. Are you hearing something?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. If nobody's hearing anything, then I'm not having a problem. I think that what should happen is when you go to a medical office, it should be like a 5-star hotel. And that's
Right.
really what, that's really what we were just describing, because that isn't what happens.
Isn't that the truth, that we should be treated, patients should be treated like they're guests at a 5-star hotel? I didn't hear the previous interview, but I'm in agreement with that.
It is too. I said there's something that we ought to be doing here. I don't know what it is, but we really ought to think, because it's funny. We don't have to describe. We just had this doctor on who works with stem cells and all, but and he had to describe what PRP is and all. It takes a lot of description. But when you say 5-star hotel, doesn't take much description. It's just we know exactly what it means, right?
That's right, exactly.
How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm great. How are you doing?
Okay, did you have a big night last night?
Pardon, what'd you say?
Did you have a big night last night?
No, I didn't. I actually...
Unfortunately, right?
I bought 2 lamps, and I kind of set them up in my living room.
That was your big night?
That was my big night.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we just finished putting out our May issue. We sent it to the printer, and we'll have it in time for the Cure Symposium. And I know that Linda is on our advisory board for the Cure Symposium as well as our expo, and we're very excited, Linda, to have these 10 great experts coming again. And I just thought you might want to share a little bit of what you see when you come. You've come to every one of the Cure Symposiums.
I have, and I really love it, and I'm so excited and looking forward to Saturday. We have such incredible, wonderful medical professionals in South Florida, and this really gives them a showcase. And then, of course, it gives the audience an opportunity to hear cutting-edge things that are going on. And so it's such a great forum, and I thank you for really putting this together. I as welcoming people coming in or sitting in the audience, just think it's such a great, great opportunity. We don't have anything like that, really. I mean, it's there from time to time. There may be seminars or meetings where you hear the latest in the medical profession, but this just you've put together such a broad array of people from so many different disciplines, and I know a few of them personally, and the others I've met some of them through you. This is going to be a great lineup. You have put together wonderful people this time.
Well, thank you.
We do that every time.
Well, Linda, it's funny, and I know you were there at the first one, and I always relate this to people. The first one, we had 36 doctors. I don't know where I was. I must have been on Mars thinking we could do that. We had them in 6 rooms every hour, and it was, how did we do that, Linda?
Yeah, that was a little bit too much. Well, what happened is people had to choose which rooms they went into. And the thing is, so many times during an hour, there were 2 or 3 different rooms you wanted to be in. So that was so much, that was funny, but this is so much better.
Yeah.
Everybody in a single room.
Exactly. But when you think of it, when you think of it, though, Linda, when you go to big conferences, you have to make the same choices.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how conferences are set up, and that's probably
That's why I guess that's why I did it, but unfortunately, it just, I think people were very frustrated, and I don't know, we may move to something like that in the future, but this has been working out well. It's in one big room, as you said, over at the Palm Beach State College in there, in a wonderful room. It's the Countess de Hornley Lecture Hall, and We will be supplying continental breakfast, and then there's some snacks in the lunch time area. But I know personally, I learned so much from the doctors and the scientists. And the other thing is, I always tell people they are not being paid. They're coming because they want to share their information.
Yeah, it's really such a gift, because to have these physicians who are so top-notch in their field to come and give of their time and not be paid for it, that in itself is noteworthy.
Yeah, it really is. So of the speakers that we have, I will tell you we have, of course, Dr. Mencia will be there, and he's going to be bringing one of his best dentists, and we're going to talk about implants. And I know that you were very interested in implants, and so I know you're going to especially like that.
Yes, I am. Well, there's so many of them I want to hear. But, yeah, I'm very interested in that.
And so the other thing that I thought it would be good to share about all this is the diversity of the audience. You notice this is not just old people coming.
No. I think having it at Palm Beach State College is great. The venue is beautiful. The room is beautiful. All of the setup, they're so accommodating, and it's so comfortable. But I think you get a mix of people because of the location.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. And once people found it, they know where to come. But the other thing is, I noticed that there are the adult children of some of the older adults coming.
Yes, yeah.
So that they can share of what's going on. I mean, science is moving so fast, isn't it? And you're in the field, you work with so many of the hospitals here, and it must be amazing for you to have seen what has happened over the last, how many years have you been doing this, 15 years or so?
15 years with my current company,
yeah.
And then another 15 years, 20 years before that.
Of working in the medical field?
Working in healthcare, yeah. Healthcare medicine, yeah.
So you must really see a complete change in what the doctors have had to learn and to organize.
I do. I mean, medicine is really a dynamic field. It's literally changing daily. The research, the new procedures, new drugs. It's a field that just to stay on the cutting edge, to stay on top of what's going on, you have to really be active and involved. It's not the kind of a field where you get your degree and then you start working and you're done. It is very dynamic.
Yeah, it continues. I mean, we're into robotics now, which I think I don't think people really understand what the robotics mean. When a doctor uses that, it's not like there's a robot doing it and he's not there. He just gets right. You can explain that probably better than I can.
Well, there are, it's actually using a computer. A lot of the procedures are guided by viewing a specific body part through it in a computer, and then having tools that are so fine they can manipulate the surgical parts in your body that are being worked on much finer than the human hand, and it allows the surgeries to be less invasive. So it's just a whole new frontier. I think aren't you having a speaker on robotics?
Oh, we are. We are having someone. Absolutely. He is I'm trying to remember now exactly what that field is. What happened is I gave my magazine to someone, and I don't have it in front of me.
It's fascinating, though, because the length of stay is shorter, the healing is faster, it's less invasive.
I think he's a urologist.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he's a urologist, but I could be wrong. I mean, I've been having so many conversations with these doctors, but if it isn't that, then it's what else could it be?
You know what? I just pulled out your sheet.
Yeah.
And yes, he's a urologist.
He is charming. He is really amazing, and that's what he said. And what he says is, when you use robotic surgery, you're not having to make as large an incision, and he's it's the hands. He's using his hands with the robot, so it's more indecisive. This incision is perfect because he doesn't have his hand in your body. It's
right.
The robots, right?
Correct. He's directing the robotic arm and the robotic tools, and he's viewing everything directly and on a computer screen. It's very high tech.
And he says that the healing is quicker when you do it this way. So, there's so much going on. And then we have this wonderful woman from Scripps Research, and she has appeared before. She's British, and she's really into metabolism, which then relates to diabetes. And she'll be talking about that, and that's a whole new field, too. And she works really, when you're in research at Scripps, you really are understanding every little bit before there's even a medication to help you. That's what they're designing, how to be able to figure out how to do that.
Yep, I think Scripps is such an interesting organization, and they're doing so much research and making such a contribution to us, and it's in our backyard.
Yeah, so we have a lot of this, and it's interesting that no one else is doing this. I can't even believe this. They do bring in Sloan Kettering, they bring in different places, Mayo Clinic, they bring in 3-4 doctors here to talk about what they're doing at their particular center, hoping that you'll go up there when you need help. But as you know, the doctors down here, I think, are so great, and they never get to really show who they are. And so I always have felt that this is the way to do it, and I really would like to be able to maybe someday have it 2 days, if we could get enough sponsors, so that there's a lot more that people can learn.
That would be fantastic. I've been to some of those seminars where organizations, they're really promoting their services and trying to get people to go up to Boston or New York or wherever they're from. And I had the same feeling. It's like we have cutting-edge medicine right down here. We have state-of-the-art research and physicians right in South Florida doing some of the most phenomenal work. And so no need to fly anywhere. It's in our backyard. This gives us an opportunity to learn what's going on, what kind of new procedures and medications there are. So
I know that you do go to a Dr. Uffelman, who is really fantastic. You have been raving about him.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about him, because he's going to be here speaking.
Well, he's going to be one of the speakers, and he is really he's a gynecologist, but he also does anti-aging procedures, gynecological procedures. And one of them I think he's going to talk about is inserting testosterone pellets, bioidentical testosterone pellets in women, and for more energy, for more sex drive, for more youthful appearance, because as our hormones decrease, that ages our body. And so this is bioidentical testosterone. So not cancer causing, but actually cancer preventing. So he'll talk about all of that. But I've been seeing him for these pellets, I think, for about, I want to say 2 years. And I have to recommend them. I think they are, I see a difference. And when I went and saw him the first time, and I was asking questions, and is it safe? And he'll talk about all of this. But he said, I use these on my mom. So I thought, well, that's good. If he puts these pellets in his mom, that's a pretty good endorsement.
That's true. Well, that's why you've been looks like you're getting younger every day, and you're so energetic. I didn't know why, but I actually have been taking testosterone, but I don't do it as a pellet, but I take that and estrogen. I take both, and my gynecologist has always believed in it, and as long as it's being done carefully, He said all that other about breast cancer, it depended what you were doing. But
Right.
I've been doing this for a long time.
Well, he'll talk about that, and it is fascinating, and he's really educating. Part of his work is he is educating physicians in South America. And so, and in South Florida and in the United States, but I mean, part of his practice is education. So he'll be a great speaker. He's very good.
And then, of course, I had Sonny on the radio show this morning. You don't even know Sonny Laval, our wonderful nutritionist, who's so gorgeous and so upbeat. And, yeah, she always does a super job.
Yeah, she's a great speaker, too. And that's something, the thing that I like about the mix of presenters, you've got people who are lean toward holistic approaches to medicine and physicians that are more traditionally Western medicine. And I think there's a place for all of it. Everything is appropriate. You just have to know when to use what for whatever is happening. But, Sonny's nutrition piece, that's just plain preventive medicine and holistic medicine, eating well and eating right. So I can't wait to hear her.
Yeah, well, and then, of course, you've been great in sharing some of the people whom you know to talk to us about the various things. But in essence, we want everyone to come. It's free, which is great. We have a TV we will be giving away. And it's, it's now Saturday, May 6th, so we'll be having tape shows next Saturday. I won't be here. I think Dr. Mencia said he's coming in, but he'll be very late in the afternoon at the symposium. So you get there at 9, from 9 to 9:30, there'll be a continental breakfast, and then we'll start at 9:30. Then at noon, we have some cheese and crackers for you if you want it. But it is free, which we are very, proud to support for you. And it will end at 3:30 with, I was going to give away gift cards. I may just give away cash instead, and in a drawing. That's really wild, isn't it? Where can you get something like this?
I love the drawings at the end because the audience, it's not like there are 1,000 people.
Right.
The chances of winning are small.
Right.
The chances of winning are pretty good.
Right.
You have so many prizes and great prizes.
I know. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of that. People like that, and I have fun offering that and all. But, so Linda, let's see. We have about 10 minutes left. So is your cat there sitting on your lap?
My cat is on the patio in the sun.
Oh, that's what cats do, right? They sit in the sun. And so I thought I'd like to the next maybe 10 minutes talk about your book and what you do. Linda SAUGET is one of our very best columnists in Boomer Times, and you've probably read her columns, and she absolutely is a pearl at doing what she does. She takes everything that is in life and she twists it around, and when you read the column, it's like she wrote that for me.
Oh, thank you, Anita. The messages always are universal. Somehow, the messages that I come up with, I don't know where they come from, how I do it every month, but the messages always do apply in so many instances to so many people. And so I do get that feedback, and I love when I get an email from some of the readers that say, oh, that was a good column, that really helped me, and that applied to me. But I love doing that, and that's my passion, is spreading that message of just positive thinking, but it's more than positive thinking. It is understanding how important our thoughts are. And we can make ourselves happy or miserable by the way we think. And so it's a message that I love to spread, and I've been doing more speaking lately about it. And that's been based on the column, so I have to thank you for that, because I've been contacted to speak when people have read my column. And so it's just something that I'm passionate about. And I want to move into doing more and more of that, more writing and more speaking, delivering that message.
Well, I have a perfect Mother's Day gift for people to purchase, and it's your book. And your book is called If You Think It, meaning if you think it, well, it could happen. So it's only $13.95, and you can go to Linda's website and buy it. The website is ifyouthinkit.com. Get it on Amazon. But it's a wonderful book. It's filled with all these kind of quotations and messages that will make you very happy. And I love those kind of books, Linda.
I read, I follow my own advice because I fill my mind with positive messages. I read quotations, I read things like that because it makes me feel better. It sets my day in a positive direction. And so people who wake up and you start thinking about your problem or all the issues you have to deal with or what, that puts you in a downward spiral. So deal with what you've got to deal with. People have problems. Life happens. I'm not saying you ignore that, but you have to rise above it, and you can rise above it. You don't have to let any circumstances in your life define your life. Just you deal with it, but also knowing that you've got power. You are in control of your thoughts. It's one of the only things we can control. So one of the things I try and do when I'm speaking is teach people how to control their thoughts, because it's not something we learn. It's not something that's taught in school. And so thank you for that plug on my book.
Well, I keep threatening I keep telling her she's got to write another book because she has so many new columns that she can put together and make it into it. And it is I guess you've turned into a philosopher in a sense.
I think so. I mean, it wasn't my intention, but I think that's what's happened. But yeah, no, one of these days that is my goal, is to put all the columns together into a book, because each column is about 250 words.
Right.
And that's long enough to get a good message out, but short enough that you can read it quickly and get a good message, a powerful message, always a positive message, and hopefully in an entertaining way. I try to be entertaining as well.
Yeah, you are. And I was thinking, if you need help, you want me to help you with that book, I will. I know that you did your other book was beautifully done, so you can go to the same people. Balboa Press, I think it was?
Yeah, it was. And so, I'm not quite ready to do that, but
I know.
That's one of my goals.
I know. That's on your bucket list, right?
It's on my bucket list. I need to write more columns. I think I have about 55 columns now.
That's enough for a book.
That's only 55 pages.
No, but I said that you could add some other experiences after.
Yeah,
each
I
page.
could add some other things. You're right. You are
a recipe. Put in a recipe. It could be a potpourri of things.
You're right, and I could have some artwork in there.
Absolutely, you're ready. You are ready, and you don't know it.
You might be right.
Take some more testosterone. Oh my goodness. Well, I just came back from a press trip, which will be now covered in our May issue of Branson, which is Silver Dollar City. And oh my goodness, what a place. It's going to be. Yeah. You haven't?
No.
Oh, you'll have to get your friend and have to go there, because the music and the entertainment and the stuff, it's better than Disney World.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's really exciting.
And are you going to be featuring that?
Yes, I'm featuring it in our May issue, part 1 and part 2. I'll do another one in June because it's just too much to even think about, but it was very special. So anyway, I'm really glad that you called us. If you want to meet Linda in person, come to the Cure Symposium on Saturday, this coming Saturday. If you need more information on the symposium, write this number down, 561-864-1101. That's 864-1101. They'll give you directions. You should really RSVP because sometimes the seats there aren't enough seats if you don't. Anyway, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Anita. You too. And
Okay.
I will see you at the symposium
Yep.
next Saturday.
Thank you, Linda.